A message to the wounded empath, the wounded healers amongst us. Your role in the new paradigm. Dear empath, you have been the emotional paramedic of your family, your relationships, and of humanity you were never meant to be. You became that because you were sensitive in a world that was not safe to be sensitive in. You learned to read rooms, regulate others, anticipate pain, soften tension, ruminate responsibilities, and hold emotional weight that was never yours to carry. That was survival. And survival roles are not your destiny. The world as we knew it is collapsing right now. You know it, you see it, you feel it. It is collapsing because those old roles were unsustainable, including yours. The old role, the rescuer. In the old paradigm, you connected self-value to being needed, being the calm one, being the understanding one, being the one who could handle difficult emotions, being the bridge, the glue, the diplomat, the peacekeeper, the healer. You thought your sensitivity was for absorbing pain. To be a pain shock absorber for others, ignoring your own pain shock treatments dealt to you by life. So you carried other people's grief and other people's emotional confusion, other people's healing processes and other people's emotional and practical responsibilities and safety. And you called that love. But carrying is not love. Denying it was a burden is not love. Carrying is fear of being unnecessary by others while denying your own necessary need fulfillment. It exhausted you. This role is ending. The systems of control, false authority, and externalized power are falling apart. The world is catching up with what you already know. Our leaders are not leaders, they are bleeders for loving energy. Political, emotional, environmental, societal, religious bleeders are being demasked all over the planet. Masks drop, and their real faces are not very pleasant. As the masks drop, emotional chaos rises to the surface. Fear, anger, panic, disillusion and urgency are everywhere. Your old reflex may say, help them. Calm them. Guide them. Fix this. Show them. You knew and felt this all along. Now is your time to get even with those who called you a dreamer, a misfit or even a fool. But if you step into rescue or proving yourself now, you don't create the new world you desire so much and already for so long. You recreate the old imbalance, where some collapse and others overfunction. The new paradigm does not need emotional laborers. It needs your regulated nervous system. Your new role is to be the stability beacon. Your role is not to rescue people from their storms, your role is to not join the storm. A stability beacon is someone who feels deeply but does not drown, sees suffering, observes it and does not absorb it, witnesses chaos without becoming emotionally chaotic, stays calm, stays grounded, stays centered within the self, stays kind and loving, holds compassion without taking responsibility for outcomes. This is not coldness or indifference. It is nervous system leadership instead of repeating nervous system bleedership. When you stay regulated in the presence of dysregulation, you offer something far more powerful than practical or emotional help. You offer evidence that inner stability is possible. What this looks like in real life as it is right now? It looks like listening without the need for fixing, caring without carrying, saying I trust you to handle this instead of stepping in and handle it for someone, allowing others to feel discomfort without rushing to soothe it. Discomfort is needed as a contrast to rediscover real emotional comfort. Letting silence do the work, especially when silence triggers the discomfort of not doing something about it, and just be with it as it is, whatever it triggers inside you. Walking away from emotional extraction, realizing it only sucks you dry energetically. Not explaining yourself to people committed to misunderstanding. If you understand yourself, your thoughts, feelings, emotions, behavior, you have nothing to explain, to prove, to defend, to no one. You know your intentions are kind, loving, sincere and pure. That's all you need. Not consent, not approval, not recognition, not some vague and inflationary validation, not a permit to exist. Nothing. Period. Just your own inner standing while standing your sacred ground inside your heart. Thus, you are not withdrawing love, you are withdrawing over responsibility. And that creates space for others to grow up emotionally. The hard truth and liberation. Some people will call this distant and cold, unavailable and indifferent, less kind and more selfish, changed and no longer the old easy walk-over person you used to be. And they are right. You are less available for dysfunctional emotional contracts. No longer negotiating your worth. No longer connecting your value to other people's responses to you. Because your nervous system is no longer volunteering to be the external regulator for people who have not yet learned to regulate themselves. That is not abandonment, that is ending codependence at a collective level. The paradox: when you stop trying to heal people, you become the healing they like to be around and connected with, which heals the unhealed around you. When you stop carrying others, they start finding their own legs, and burdens becomes a blessing. When you stop rushing to help, the right people step forward and learn to walk themselves. When you stop proving your worth through service, your presence gains weight. No longer the weight in leaden stuff, but your weight in gold. This is the shift from emotional worker to the energetic anchor. You are not here to wake people up. Awakening is not something you do to someone. It happens when the nervous system feels enough stability to let go of old defenses. You create that not through effort, but through embodied non-reactivity. You don't preach calm. You are calm. You don't teach boundaries. You live them. You don't demand change. You model self-trust. That is leadership in the new paradigm. Quiet. Unshakable. Non-performative. Becoming the stable beacon is not about being positive. It is about being internally anchored. You become a stability beacon when you stop explaining your peace. You stop negotiating your limits. You stop absorbing emotional projections. You stop confusing empathy with self-erasure. You trust that witnessing is sometimes the highest form of support. Your strength is no longer in how much you can hold. It is in what you no longer pick up. Final truth: the world does not need more exhausted and frustrated healers. It needs people whose nervous systems are no longer organized around rescue. No more superheroes turned into super zeros. Frustrated, misunderstood, rejected and depleted. Your sensitivity was never meant to make you a sponge. It was meant to make you a tuning fork. Clear, grounded and resonant. Present, steady and strong. Loving, guiding and determined. You are not here to carry the new world into existence, it is already here. When you decide you are here to stand in it first, so others can feel what is possible. And that is enough. You are enough that way. Because it is the empath way,